these are two different products. So there's the aperture light again, but then it's where the other sort of side to my practice. When I finished working at Habitat, I moved back to Preston, and I was quite surprised to be invited to be part of the Jerwood Makers exhibition, and I submitted my entry and was selected. And it was really from going from designing 40 things, 40, 60 products per season, to then going to work on one thing for 4 months was a real treat, really. Really great, sort of massive contrast, but a really great experience. And it was almost kind of, I over-laboured at something because I could, and that's what I wanted to do. And it was to create and then to break that design. So it's called the Bloom 296, and there's 296 pieces of paper with one small piece of metal in the inside holding it together. But it was then drawing on that, the elements of that, the way, and working with an engineer who Charles works with as well, actually, to deal with all those very tight tolerances that even a piece of paper will send things out. So yeah, it was amazing. And it was that's sort of around that time as well that I set up Luminosity with my business partner Rob, and we his background is in importing, and when Habitat sadly went into administration, the license for Aperture came back to me, and we were fortunate that because of the links that we had with the factory, we were able to take Aperture on and produce it ourselves. And then we expanded the range into Banksia and Rosa as well. And it's been great having our own company. It's been a really brilliant experience. It has been quite stressful, but I think what I've learned about sort of having my own company it's been brilliant, and we're talking about being able to prototype and make things yourself and go out there and sell them to We Stock, John Lewis and Habitat in France, and having those retail links, it has been relatively an easy thing to do. But I think from a personal perspective of my development as a designer, understanding the whole process from kind of original sketch to then customer complaint and dealing with everything else in between, actually I just kind of realised that I actually only like doing the design bit. I don't really like doing the rest of it. So I'd rather work with other companies that will enable me to push myself as a designer rather than having to deal with marketing or sales or why aren't things arriving in store when they should and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, so this was a treat of a project to work on, which was the Habitat reunion project. So for Habitat's 50th birthday, I was one of the designers selected to design a product for their collection, and this was the crystalline chandelier, and it was a project which just flowed brilliantly, and from idea to kind of solution, and yeah, it was a dream to work on. This was another lovely project which I actually worked on with a manufacturer in Blackburn, Tyson Lighting, and I was a kind of linchpin between Tyson and the New Craftsman, and one of their makers, Katerina Riccobona, who's a weaver based in the Cockpit Studios in London. And together we designed, and I sort of managed the communication with them to design a small collection of lighting. There's a ceramic maker as well, but this is the Loom Light, and as I say, it's manufactured in Blackburn as well, which was it's brilliant to have that manufacturing resource on my doorstep. Yeah, Plumin worked with Tyson as well. And then this is just something which I'm currently trying to get off the ground, which is it's a design inspired by the image on the left is a skeleton of a sponge. So again, having this real sort of reference point to the organic forms and organic structures, whether it's plant forms, cell forms, but then sort of relating it to techniques. And I was really interested in this Canadian smocking technique. It's a real traditional technique, but what I really liked about it was when you illuminate it, it looks like it's been rapid prototyped. It looks like it's been kind of, the structure within it is kind of impossible, and that's a really sort of interesting relationship that I really like between the traditional and the kind of contemporary forms, and that's where I'm up to. Thank you.